What's going on, everybody? Uh, if you're watching this, I want to thank you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So, a lot of things I want to talk about, so I want to get right into it. A lot of things going on that I'm very excited about. The first thing is I watched the last two episodes, or the latest two episodes, which are 3 and 4 of the Darth Maul Shadow Lord series on Disney Plus, and I can say confidently, this show is one of the best things probably Disney's done um during their tenure, having Star Wars under the belt. One thing about Disney, I think, now like Awakens, it made sense. I mean, they say this is a remake basically of A New Hope. And they're not entirely wrong, but it made sense, right? It made sense that they would make a bigger, more deadlier version of the Death Star. It would make sense that Kylo Ren, as much as he admired Darth Vader, would be take the path in which he traveled as well. So I didn't have any issues with it. Everything in it made sense to me. And none of it seemed inorganic. And then you have, the Last Jedi, which a lot of people hate. I loved it. Love is a strong word. I really liked it. I think they were going in a really good direction. I think they were doing some really clever and new things. But then they got spooked. The fan response, which somebody said this, and it's very true. Who are the major fandoms? DC, Marvel, Lord of the Rings. And you asked them, who do you believe is the most toxic fan group? And you interviewed 100 people from each, major fandom. Is it Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek? I guarantee majority of them will say Star Wars. Star Wars just has a very toxic fan group. I don't know why. We just do. And it's not even a majority. It's just an outspoken, very loud, obnoxious, group. And when they spoke out and talked about the displeasure with The Last Jedi, it became very apparent that it spooked Disney. And they already went in there not having a plan. They kind of rushed it. And then The Rise of Skywalker came out. And that was just a disaster. But I will say, overall, I think the first two films, Force Awakens was really good. I really love that film. The Last Jedi was also really good. Not as good as the first one, but still was, I think, a good movie. But then they did the worst thing a studio can do sometimes. They listened to the toxic fans. And they made The Rise of Skywalker, and that just. But aside from the movies, their shows have been mostly good. I mean, The Acolyte was a big failure, but Mandalorian, 2 out of 3 seasons, excellent. The last couple of seasons of the last season of the 7th season of Clone Wars, amazing. I think it was Disney that they did Rebels, an amazing show. Ahsoka, a lot of people didn't like it. I did. I really liked that show. I really enjoyed it. What are some things that I guess you can make a complaint about to a certain extent. Sure, but I like Ahsoka. Um, Obi-Wan, same thing. I liked it. Didn't love it, but I liked it. The Book of Boba Fett. God forbid you call it Boba Fett. People lose their shit. But then they tell you they hate the show. I made a mistake one time. I told someone, hey, did you like Boba Fett? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, the show. Oh, you mean the Book of Boba Fett? And I thought you were about to tell me, I love that show. Don't you dare call it by any name except... No. They're like, well, I hated that show. And why the fuck do you care what I call it? I didn't call it Boba's, uh, fucking bathwater. What do you care? You hated the show anyway. So, people are weird. They are. But again, I like that show. Didn't love it. And it kind of, except for the Acolyte, most of the shows Disney did, I at least liked, if not loved. And so when we got Darth Maul, I didn't know what to expect. But so far, it's amazing. So far, it's amazing. It looks beautiful. Darth Maul it has a very dark tone to it. And that's one thing. Are they going to go to more kid friendly, family friendly, try to make it cute? And no, Darth Maul is vicious. Now, this show has a very dark tone. And the Clone Wars did as well. Rebels did as well. Not as much so, but, there were some darker tones in there. Clone Wars, especially as the season progressed, definitely had darker tones. A Bad Batch definitely had a little bit of a darker tone. And this, too, also has a dark tone, which I like. I mean, if you're going to do a show, especially a show about Darth Maul, you have to have it have this darker presence. Maybe that's not the right word, but this darker backdrop to it. And they definitely achieved that. So far, I love the show. And the last two episodes were especially good. Especially episode 4. Episode 4, you get this fight between Darth Maul, Captain Lawson, and his strike team that try to go get him. And then we find out that the Tyrek that was, the Jedi there, the name's Devin, and their master name is, he tells Captain Lawson, I think it's pretty cool. He's like, Uncle Docky, what I think was a pretty cool. And so when he sends a tip with Darth Maul is what his hideout is, the guy telling Lawson's like, you got a tip. He's like, well, we get tips all the time. He's like, well, this tip is directly to you from a Uncle Docky. Like, I didn't know you had an uncle. And Lawson's like, oh shit. They had talked previously before that. And so they go to strike team, and you get this amazing battle between Maul and Docky and Devin. And the strike team goes terribly wrong. A lot of them die or get seriously injured. And then Two Boots, who kind of defying Lawson, he was ardent in his stance that he believed they needed to call the Empire. That Maul was too much for them. He's too strong. He's too violent. Like, we need to call the Empire. We need to get the Empire in here. And Lawson, and we find out through a bit of dialogue, Lawson's ex-wife works for the Empire. So we don't know if he just hates the Empire or if he's just a little prejudiced because of his wife working, the ex-wife working there. So, that's kind of up in the air as to what his true problem with the Empire is. So, I mean, the show going really well. And then we find out Two Boots, they said he actually did call the Empire, and they're there now, and that's how we leave off episode 4. So next episode, we're going to see, Empire have a presence on this world. But the show's going amazing. It's an amazing show. It's beautiful. The animation is just, I don't even know. There's a strong enough word that I know that can adequately describe it. I mean, amazing, beautiful, pristine, just every synonym that you could come up with those words, it probably still wouldn't be enough. It's breathtaking. It's breathtaking. The way that looks, the way that show looks, and the animation is perfect. If nothing else, the animation is perfect. So I love the show so far, and I don't see that changing. Next, Daredevil. This last episode, so spoilers obviously. So in case you haven't seen it, it was mostly flashbacks, and it was flashbacks between. We saw this storyline of, like, I guess one of the first cases before Matt and Foggy's in this episode, in a flashback, of course. And Foggy and Matt are still at the old law firm before they started their own. They go on this guy, drug dealer, and he turned out to be a friend of Foggy's. Or I think more accurately, his younger brother was Foggy's friend, but by association, they knew each other, of course. Grew up in the same building, same neighborhood. I mean, they knew each other intimately well. The guy's got a rap sheet mile long. The guy's... The funny is, Foggy reads his name, but named like Lionel. So when he goes in there, he calls... What do you call Foggy? Like fembot or something. I don't know, something like that. Some derogatory, insult. And Foggy's like, your name's Ray. And he's like, you think in our neighborhood I'm gonna walk around with a name like Lionel? He's like, no. So he's an asshole to Foggy. He's like, hey, listen, the guys I work for, they're gonna kill me. So I'm gonna go to jail. I'm not signing a plea deal. That's what they want. When they go to prison, they want to kill me. I'm not doing it. I'm a public defender. I probably have a better shot with them. So they go back, and of course, the guy from the law firm is like, you guys are two fuck ups. All you had to do was get him to plea out, do this paperwork, get it all from this case, get it all done. They're doing the paperwork, and they find out that the warrant was for the wrong address. So they actually get him out. And it's a touching moment where Foggy and Matt have been saving money for their own firm. And Foggy takes that money, gives it to Lionel or Ray, and say, hey, get out of here. They run away. He's like, you're my best friend's brother. Like, go. And we see that, of course, the people he's working for were Fisk. Wesley's back. Flashback, of course. But we see Wesley again. And we also see Buck. Very young, much younger Buck. Before Buck is who he is now. Him and Wesley knew each other. And Wesley says, hey, I know a guy that can take care of this for us. And he hires Wesley to kill Lionel. And we also see Vanessa in the flashback. We seen her getting ready for the art expose that would ultimately be the art exhibit her and Fisk meet at. And we see that she insisted on the Rabbit in a Snowstorm picture or painting be hung in that exhibit. The person curating that particular exhibit was like, no, we're not putting that up. And she kind of went behind her did it anyway. And of course, it went up being, one of the highest selling pieces of art. But we would see like Fisk looking through the window, staring at Vanessa. We can already tell he's like smitten by her, and we do that, and we fast forward to the present. Fisk is next to Vanessa. She's having surgery. She's recovering in the hospital. Simultaneously, Matt is trying to carry Bullseye and get him the hell out of there because the task force is on their ass. And we see Buck take, what's his name? Soprano's son. He's like driving upstate, and like he thinks because he leaked all this shit to BB, that came back to bite him in the ass. And that he leaked it. It's that she just uses his affection for her to get him to say shit that nobody else can get him to say. And we see Vanessa come out of like a coma, or come out of surgery, and she's like, "Hey, can I get some pineapple juice?" And Chris is like, "You hate pineapple juice. It makes your lips tingle." And she's like, "Well, please." Of course, Fisk is like, "Whatever. No what? Anything for you." And she tells him, "Tell me a story." He's like, "Sure. What story you want me to tell you?" She's like, "Tell me the story of how we first met." And tells her the story. And you see her kind of like gaze off, where she's like, you can tell she far away. And she's like, "Fisk, can you tell me a story?" And then she starts seizing, and you hear she starts going to like this fit, and you hear the monitor and flat lines, and they have the pads, and they're trying to bring her back, but you can tell she's probably gone. So Vanessa's, by all accounts, officially dead. Matt finally brought Bullseye to his hideout with Karen. And Karen was pissed over that. But, the story with Foggy and the juxtaposition between that story and what's going on now is about mercy. It's about forgiveness. And we see that. And so, there's a lot going on there that we see throughout the flashbacks. And like I said, especially the Foggy one is another thing. Vanessa gives this beautiful speech. Again, the lady curating the art exhibit does not want to, bring out the Rabbit in the Snowstorm painting. And Vanessa gives this, and I won't even try to recreate it because I won't. I'll butcher it. But essentially, she says that painting will speak to someone. Someone will see it. And seeing it will see themselves and see the deep despair that they feel deep inside themselves, and will just absolutely need to have that painting. It's a sure shot to sell. And no, she still says no, we're not putting it up there. But it's just a beautiful way that she explained why that painting was so what the significance of it was, and what ultimately drew Fisk to it. So I thought it was amazing, and I just love, the like I said, that flashback I think was very nice, and you see her meeting with Fisk, and you see how her life has changed, and then she dies. Kind of remind you of the Joker. Like, one bad day can change everything. And I don't know if Vanessa will ever describe her meeting Fisk as a bad day per se, but definitely it changed her life for the good, for the worse, for the better, for the worse. I mean, that's obviously some would say for the worse, some would say for the better. It's all obviously up for interpretation, but I love that type of just discussion on like fate and how it moves us and how it shapes our lives. And I thought it was a very, very, not a lot of action, but I did enjoy the episode. I really did. Which now I feel like that episode was the last one before I help X lose. Now Vanessa's officially dead. So now it's like there's no more of the show can't be bogged down anymore. Now it's like Fisk is gonna go all out. That was the last straw, the last piece of humanity that Fisk was holding on to. Now that it's been severed, I I would have to think that that's it. Finally, finally that's it. No more episodes of foggy flashbacks. No more sitting in the hospital with Vanessa. No more, story. This is it. This is it. This is the last one. This is the last thing. No more. Like, no more bogged down. And again, I'm not mad at the episode. I don't hate the episode. I'm just saying there's no more that you can do. Now it's full 100% just foot to the floor, pedal to the metal, but now we're going 100 miles an hour. No more foreplay. Now it's time to get it on. Now it's time to finally, this is Daredevil time. This is Daredevil versus Fisk. Just going at it. Bare knuckle brawl. No more bogged down, sentimental. It is time for 2 episodes now. You've kind of set up, and rightfully so. You set up a lot of stuff. You set up a lot of story. You set up a lot of, the progression towards Vanessa dying. Now she's dead. There's no more you can do. Not without losing some fans. Now it's time. Okay, Vanessa's dead. Bullseye's mortally wounded. Matt's gonna try to save him. Now it's time. Okay, this is it. It's like a hockey match. You've been bumping, you've been pushing, but now this is drop the fucking stick, take off the gloves. Now it's time to fight. Yeah, no more just little bumps, no more pushes, no more shoves, no more shoulder checks. This is drop this. Gloves come off, stick goes down. Fuck it, we're fighting. We're fucking fighting. Throw those fucking hands now. Now it's time. Now it's time. You've done everything. Everything's done. Vanessa's dead. The task force is going to be told by any means fucking necessary. They already been told that. Now they're amping that up. Now it's like, okay, we're not going to do the tiptoe, footsie, foreplay, rub the leg and caress the shoulders. Now, now it's time. It's done. It's done. It's time to like I said, take the gloves off. Now it's time to have a fucking fight. And so I'm excited for the next episode. I'm excited but worried. I'm worried they're gonna try too hard to keep going and drag it on. You've been dragging it. You've been shoving, you've been shoulder checking, you've been pushing. Now it's time that, okay, yeah, now it's obvious you want these hands. Let's go. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. A little trepidation that they're going to try to bog it down even more. I can't see how they would, but um, that was my one complaint about one of my complaints about last season. One, they misunderstood Muse, misused them. The second was, it felt like, okay, there's a time to be the time for foreplay, to play the footsie, to rub the shoulders, to caress the leg, to stroke the cheek. And there's a time, okay, that's all cute and it's nice, but come on, come on, come on. Eventually, you gotta take the clothes off and yeah, as Marvin Gaye once said, "May he rest in peace." You gotta get it on. And I feel like last season they waited too long. I just don't hope they do it this season as well. But I liked it. I like where the show's going, and I'm hoping that they don't wait too late to stick the landing. Um, what else? You okay? Go pee. My daughter. Um, what was I saying? Oh, but so far I'm very pleased with Daredevil this season. I think it's better than last season. I'm really enjoying it. Um, but like I said, I know the way I'm talking makes it seem like I'm not enjoying it. I feel like you done the character work. You push the narrative of and the drama of Vanessa dying through 2 episodes. Perfect. Give us a flashback of Foggy and Wesley coming back. Awesome. Both characters that we love from the original Daredevil show. But if I want to see the original Daredevil show, I would rewatch the original Daredevil show. I want to see Born Again. I want to see this. I want to see Daredevil really go and go fist to cuff with Fisk and the task force. Not just in little fight montages, but really go hard nose fighting. But I am enjoying it. Another show I'm watching that I'm enjoying, I fell out of and haven't really been watching, is The Boys. Season 1 I loved. Season 2, I don't know. I thought it just took a dip in quality. And one thing about Garth Ennis is Garth Ennis doesn't wade or tiptoe or just place his feet in the and nihilism. He submerges himself in it. The Boys is a very nihilistic show, and I get it as a deconstruction, but I just felt at the time it was just deconstructed too much, and not deconstructed, but it was just too nihilistic, and it's too. I mean, look, I enjoy Butcher with Butcher saying cunt much to the next guy, but come on. But the season 5 came around, and I've heard nothing. I was hearing nothing but great things about it. People were saying it was the best one since season 1. People were saying that the boys are. This is the best boys season, um, maybe ever. People were saying that this is a series finale. You got to see it. It's just going to go balls to the wall. So out of this morbid curiosity, I watched the first 2 episodes, which dropped on the series on a series premiere, and I loved it. I was like, "Damn, this is the best the boys has been." I can't really say that. I didn't watch seasons 3 or 4, but I'm like, this is to me as good as season 1, and I'm just I am I'm they got me back. They pulled me back in. They completely pulled me back in. So much so that I'm gonna go back and rewatch season. Well, not rewatch, but watch seasons 3 and 4. I might rewatch 2, season 2. I'm gonna watch Gen V, and I'm back into the boys. I love the first 3 episodes. I think they're amazing. I think what they're doing. I think the ticking time bomb that is Homelander. He's the best he's ever been. I think the social commentary, seeing a video that we obviously see is real, and them telling us, "Oh, it's fake." You didn't really see what you thought you saw. You thought you saw it, but you really didn't. Like, how is that not so like just on the nose on what's going on today? Like, I love it. I love what they're doing. I love what they're um showing. I love the fact that the gang's all back together. Kamiko, Mother's Milk, Huey, Starlight. I love that Huey and Starlight have like this wall between them, and you can tell they care about each other, but you can also tell they've been through so much that there's just something there that would keep them from reconnecting totally. I love just the I love what they're doing with um Homelander just being the thing about Homelander. He's always cared about what other people think about him. This season, slowly, you're starting to see him like he doesn't care, and God help us when that happens. When Homelander no longer has a conscience to tell him to where the to tell him like when it's too much, he doesn't know the limit. That's a truly terrifying Homelander. I just love what they're doing with the Fox News esque type propaganda with Firecracker. I love what they're doing with Soldier Boy. I love what they're doing with Butcher still just being a prick. I love what I just enjoy it so much. And it's both funny and kind of terrifying on how the very obvious bad guys and villains and the antagonists of this series very much mirror the current administration and evangelicus, Christian nationalists. It just it's very scary to see the similarities and to see how a true evil villain who fancies himself a god and does horrible things, but he thinks he's being righteous when he does them. How terrifying that is, and how that again mirrors our current administration. But this show got me back in. I'm like Al Pacino in Godfather 3. There's one thing I'm out, pull me back in. And the boys did. They pulled me back in 100%. I'm excited for the show. I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to finish it and then go back and watch the other seasons, Gen V and all the other stuff. Because I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this monumentally. So, definitely excited to see where it goes. Definitely excited about Daredevil, next episode. I'm excited about Darth Maul and where that's going. And then at the end of the month, because of course, the channel is called The Nerdy Jock NFL Draft. And I'm very excited about, the draft and what trades will be done. There'll always somebody who falls, always someone who gets overdrafted. So that's gonna be excited to see. And yes, we got so much stuff coming up. So, hey, listen. Please do me a favor. If you enjoy this, just like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. And not only that, please, I'm always up to constructive criticism. What I do well, what I don't do well, what I can do better. And constructive criticism isn't, hey, you suck, or hey, fuck you. That's not really constructive criticism. I can't do anything with that. But anything that could help, I'm always willing to hear it and listen. I love to hear what anyone else would think about all these wonderful shows going on. Invincibles, I'm going to watch that today with my sons, and yeah, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be a nerd. It's an exciting time to be a football fan. I mean, look, draft is coming. I'm excited to see what happens next season. Excited to see if the Seahawks can, make it back to the Super Bowl. Excited to see that if Bo Nix can stay healthy, can the Broncos make a Super Bowl? Because I honestly believe if Bo Nix played in that game in the AFC Championship, it would have been a Denver-Seattle Super Bowl. Now, hindsight, I mean, what ifs and what abouts, and I don't normally like to live that life because, I mean, how far back do you go? What if Joe Montana's mother had an abortion and he never existed? What I'm saying? Like you get into too much of the of a rabbit hole with that. I hate what ifs. I hate it. I don't fucking like them. So, but do I think next season, seeing that they're bringing back at least the majority of the team, can the Broncos make this playoffs again? Yes. Can, with a healthy Bo Nix, can they have a real shot of making the Super Bowl? I believe so. Yes. That's all to be seen, obviously, but I think it's a great possibility. that division gonna get a bit tougher. You got Mendoza coming in. You have Patrick Mahomes who's gonna be healthy and kind of come with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because they had such a bad season last year. Um, you have this is what the second year and Harbaugh's tender as head coach with the Chargers. So in another year, you see how the draft goes. Harbaugh, one thing about him, he's always drafted well, particularly defensive players. So I expect the Chargers to most likely be better, at least on defense. So their own division is going to be a lot tougher next year. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited. A lot to be excited about. You got Harbaugh's brother over in New York. Let's see what he does. Ravens obviously have a new coach. Can he get Lamar over the hump? Get him to a Super Bowl? And you got Allen with the new head coach. Can they get over the hump? So much going on. So much to look forward to. First, get through the draft. After that, unfortunately, going to be some agonizing, excuse me, a couple agonizing months. But then football's back. And all will be right with the world again. Anyway, thank you for listening, guys. Have a great day. See you next time.